And we are back with another live reaction. We heard all the haters say, "You're not even friends in real life. You don't even know each other." But
We
for the
do know each
first
other.
time in person, and we thought we would never be able to do it again if Milan loses. But the boys pull out a last minute, well, not last minute, I think, well, kind of, I think
Sort of.
88th minute,
Yeah.
89th minute.
Yeah.
We were already getting the champagne ready to forget the problems, getting the beers ready to watch an afternoon of football. But Strahinja Pavlovic and his beautiful, beautiful face gave us the lead. A bit of a crazy game.
Yeah.
I put just a story on Instagram now. Unnecessarily stressful game. What did you think of the game, Oscar?
89 minutes of pure suffering. I think the scoreline reflects what the whole 90 minutes would probably have been fair to say. A 2-0 victory would have been a fair result, and also looking at the chances we had in the first half. But yeah, it took to the 89th minute. It took Pavlovic's big face to score. And I think I jinxed us with saying, oh no, not another short corner. I fucking hate these. But here we are, jinxing it again. And you're right, if we lost or drawn in this manner, I think I would have never come visit you again and watch a Milan game and do a live reaction with you in the flesh.
It worked out in the end. Um, yes, it's interesting because usually I don't know. I mean, we obviously text during the games. Usually, hello, Peaches wants to say Forza Milan. Clearly, we text each other during the games, but I don't know your exact thoughts. But watching the game together, I actually knew. So I'm trying to rebuild the all the thoughts. This was one that when I thought we were gonna inevitably draw or maybe even lose, and Cremonese did have a few chances. I said people are gonna blame Allegri and the haram football and all that.
Yeah.
And this was not the story of the game. We created a lot. Leao had a great chance of a Fofana ball that he should have put away. Pulisic had also a great chance, also from Fofana ball, that he should have put away. And then just a few more. Plenty of shots. Fofana himself had a good shot. Salemakas had a couple good looks. Fulkrug had a good header. We create a lot, but the ball doesn't go in until the very end. And of course, the second goal, they're just attacking. We get the space, and Nkunku and Leao, stat pad, as you said. Where did you think this game almost went wrong? We were trying to say, okay, if this ended up finishing 0-0, who's to blame? Allegri, the finishing of the players. You were talking about once again the combination of Pulisic and Leao not convincing from the start up there. What do you think?
I think a mix of everything, because if you're Allegri and you kind of hear from the medical staff that Pulisic and Leao are ready to start week in week out now, there are two best players overall. Maybe Modric, but it would be strange not to. It'd be weird not to be playing them from start. And the beginning of the season, we were saying like, oh yeah, we haven't seen them play together. Like imagine them being able to play together. It's gonna be fantastic to see them be, fantastic seeing them link up. And then now the last few games, it's just not worked whatsoever. So I think from that standpoint, you can now kind of blame Allegri and say, you know what, maybe we should be having a full Krug in there with Pulisic or Leao. Maybe not an Nkunku and full Krug partnership, but something needed to change, and he hasn't done that. And now was it the third game in a row? They've not really been convincing as a partnership. But then again, you look at the chances that we did create. Leao could have scored one for sure.
Yeah.
Pulisic could have scored one, I believe. But yeah, Pulisic in the final third today, I thought was one of his worst performances in a Milan shirt. To be honest, he got himself in good spots and good situations, and then just fumbled completely. Like the last couple of touches was a bit wide or a bit in front of him, so the defender came in the way, and he couldn't really regain his balance. And yeah, didn't really click for Pulisic. And we saw him when he came off. Not that he was angry. I think if he did look pissed off, it was at himself more than anything. So I think it's a mix of kind of blaming the players for waiting until the 89th, but also Allegri, come on now, you're a seasoned vet in this game. Try to start full Krug, maybe.
Yeah, and we did see a fair amount of the 4-3-3, more than we've done in the past. And I thought it worked well. You can see Leao finding himself a home on the left side, more than as the main striker role, which he's now doing. But also, yeah, a little bit more, more creativity going forward, for sure. That being said, immediately we also saw the weakening of the defense. I thought Cremonese had a couple good chances or good half chances, maybe even if it didn't end up leading to a shot. But I thought they were dangerous, and you can see why a lot of people say, why don't we play further back? Because we really can't. When we play further back, you had Pavlovic and De Winter as center backs, which they can do a job, but we know they're kind of shaky when playing just two center backs. And we had Tomori playing fullback, which is not great. And then later on Atekame, who, in a game where you only need to attack, works, but it's not exactly. He's definitely a wing back. And no disrespect to him, I thought he did well when he came on. But yes, this still remains a question if against the smaller teams we can play Pulisic and Leao.
And speaking of that, I'm going to bring up my stats because I went through all our starting 11s. We've had I think 11 different striker partnerships throughout the season. Funnily enough, the Leao Pulisic is the one that we've started the most with now.
Really? Already?
Yeah, because it's been such a mix. We've had Leao and Kunku 5 times. This game puts Leao and Pulisic above them. We've had Leao Pulisic 6 times, Leao Ruben Loftus-Cheek 2 times, Leao and Kunku 5 times, Pulisic Füllkrug just once, Nkunku Ruben twice, Nkunku Pulisic once, Leao Jimenez twice, Leao Salamakers once, Pulisic Jimenez 4 times, Nkunku Jimenez once, and Jimenez and Ruben once.
I forget that Santi Jimenez plays for Milan, to be honest, on a very regular basis.
A lot of, he started a good, 7 games, I think he started for us this season. This is all competitions, by the way.
That's kind of wild. Before I get to that, there's some interesting thoughts. F. Stockling in the chat, appreciate you, hope you're enjoying Southampton. He says, you guys love a late winner, where would you be without him?
This is a guy that just didn't watch the game. It's clear. We love you, Stefan Fabian.
He honestly might have up there in the mountains. He might have watched it, but it's the season. Napoli got a even more late winner. But this one we got a late winner because our strikers decided to not to put away a lot of chances. Usually, a lot of times this season we got the late winner when we just haven't attacked all that much, and that's when the famous stats that we scored on early on, whatever it was. 11 times out of 12 on the first shot on target. This was definitely not one of those games. But hey, better late than never in this case for sure. Those striking partnerships is a little bit tough. I'm surprised it's crazy that we've never. I think we started Füllkrug once. Was the one with Pulisic? Pichi, that's my dog. But it's crazy that it hasn't gotten more starts. Now it makes sense if Pulisic and Leao are ready to go. You would expect them to start, and Max is just rarely gonna play that many strikers from the start. But a little bit wild. But good to go into the derby with this, I think.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't a derby.
Technically Lombardy derby for sure.
Yeah, we're the Lombardy Kings.
Surprising, right no yellow cards to I think the 4 players that were at risk of missing out. So that's good. I still think we're going to the derby heavy underdogs. Inter will have to play, I think, Como midweek because of the Coppa Italia. But no Champions League to worry about. And in fact, the Champions League loss that we'll try to avenge. What do you see for this derby coming up?
I think it's maybe a Milan a bit of disillusion in the sense that I think if you're gonna lose any time, I think it was good that we lost against Parma when we did, so it wasn't the game just beforehand. This game was almost some lost points, but I think Milan fans or Milan might be were a bit of delusionment that we've had this unbeaten streak. So it's good that we lost if we're going to lose any time just beforehand. And Inter will be, I shouldn't say that they're in disarray or that they're all over the place, but I mean losing to Bodo Glimt, it is a fairy tale, and Inter weren't very good and Bodo Glimt played fantastically well. I think that they know they've got the 10-point cushion, but that could go wrong very quickly, because losing to somebody like Bodo Glimt will not help their morale, their style of play. But we know that they've won 12 out of the last 13 Serie A games. So I think in that sense we are perhaps a bit the underdogs. We should be, because this is the
Yeah.
ingiocabili. This is their one of the best teams they've ever had, according to Inter fans. And what is it that they can? Is it 2 Serie A's that they can count for the last
Yeah.
6 years?
Yeah, yeah, but always there, always up there. To them, I feel like it's the same old story where it's like they're in a position that any other Italian team would absolutely love to be in.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if we could trade places in terms of the structure and the achievements, you would, you would be in this position. But at the same time, when the lights are brightest, they seem to choke, and this seems to be like their characteristic of their players, from Çalhanoğlu to also the Italian boys who do this on the highest stage with, unfortunately, with the Italian jersey on as well. I see in the chat, Miki, Forza Milan, and that Milan podcast. Shout out to, I don't know if it's which one of you is watching in, but appreciate. Never in doubt, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of squeaky bum time.
It was a lot of doubt. In this room, at least, it was a lot of sighing and a lot of for fuck's sakes and a lot of looking down.
Yeah.
It's like not another one of these.
But we're the negative boys here, so hopefully.
Are we? Is
A
it
little
Oscar's
bit.
pessimistic corner everywhere I am?
It is maybe, but hey, I mean, I'm not much better. But yeah, so I mean, with Inter is tough. I wish they had more pressure. The 10 points, as you said, is big enough to me that they, you know, also they're just absolutely I mean, their numbers are crazy when you look at what they've done to teams that are not the top 4 or 6. So there's a little less pressure. Obviously, they were likely to win and they're gonna try to win, but you know, even if we lose, I don't see them dropping points against any other non-top team. Martino always running the Twitter, but I'm being sarcastic. Yes, so I mean, obviously we'll be underdogs, but it will be nice to continue the derby streak. We will have Uncle Sharma on for the podcast after the derby as well.
We will?
I don't think during the
no.
live reaction
No.
because that's a little too raw.
No, I tuned into the Uncle Sharma live reaction after the Bodo Glimt, the second game.
Okay.
I just because I came up with my phone and I thought I'll join, and the first thing that I think I was a good 10 minutes into it, like late, he was only talking about Milan fans, and he was doing -10. How does it feel? So it's such Inter mentality just to talk about the
Rent free.
just like the gap. And it's like I don't know, I didn't read the comment section, but when I was in there was a lot of, you know, Inter fans being for once reasonable and saying like, yeah, this is deserved to lose and it's not like a referee robbing us, but he was just talking about Milan. So we do live rent free in most of them, and it's
As it should be.
as it should be.
I thought it was interesting though. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked that I was telling you this before the game. Bodo literally was going 200 miles an hour compared to Inter. It was crazy. And also, yeah, how much even Barella mentioned the league, and Akanji had the famous interview with like, which one would you rather win in the league? And it's like, look, Bodo Glimt is now been doing this a lot. You know, they've had some big scalping, some big upsets in the Champions League and in the Europa League. But it's a Norwegian team, and look, Norway's been running rampant in Milan and in San Siro, both in the Olympics, but also with football, the national team.
Unfortunately.
This is not a stadium that they fear, I would say. But this is the biggest game of their club history. And to go and upset the soon-to-be Italian champions, runners-up in Europe last year, it doesn't matter if they lost 5-0, still made it to the final. It's big, and people are like, oh, Napoli had a crash out of Champions League. They did. Inter is just as bad in my book. And the first game was silly because they didn't start Di Marco and Zelinski, so it's like, are you throwing it to get into the league, which would be such an Italian mindset, or are you underestimating Bodo Glimt for no reason because it's a Champions League? You shouldn't. They're a quality team, even when they come from Norway. But I thought was
And also, it's not just about this ingiocabili thing. It's just that they've had that core for so long, and this is their time. In a way, I shouldn't say it's at the end of it, but you know, the Bastoni, Barella, Hakan, Lautaro Martinez, they've been around for so long. Di Marco,
Yeah.
I mean, Dumfries has been out injured for a few months now, so you can't blame it on that. And then they've only added and reinforced, if anything.
This
Fratesi
season.
by having Fratesi might not be performing to the level that they hope, but then they go get Sucic. They have a backup of Pio Esposito being who he is. I mean, Inter fans hype him to be the next Roberto Baggio, but I think Cutrone has had better numbers in a worse Milan. So it's like you say, it's runners up of Europe last season of Champions League, and they go out in the round of 16 in the qualification to the knockout stage.
Exactly, yeah.
Like that's
And those are the future Italian champions, and the past Italian champions finished 30th out of 36. It's not a good look. But yeah, I mean, this season is definitely stronger. Pio probably, if it wasn't for the name, probably would start ahead of Turam, who's had a terrible season for no really reason. I mean, I'm sure there's some physical problems. Boni as the fourth option has been great. He's got his goals for, again, being the fourth option, not seeing many minutes. Zelinski turned out to be great this season. Akanji was a great buy. He had a terrible couple legs against Bodo Glimt, but in Serie A he's been one of the best center backs, if not the best center back. So obviously we'll have to see. We'll have the heavy preview, of course, when we cover the Cremonese game. But as we wrap up, 20 minutes in, 5 more minutes. Worst and best performers. If I'm going, while you think I go mine, I think you mentioned already Pulisic, who did everything well, but seemingly the last touch, whether it was the last pass or the last shot, was always wrong. He is now been having a few rough games. Now he's being very spotty in terms of also minutes and on the pitch that he's seen, so that's kind of hard to build a momentum when you're not playing because you're injured a lot. But, against Parma, he had a great chance. Here, he had a one-on-one and just a lot of mistakes. So I think he's up there.
I would also, and it's not because he was the worst player on the pitch, but for his standards, I thought even Rabiot looked a bit. I wouldn't say it's a terrible game, but for his standards, we talk about Modric's really high ceiling and really high floor. I didn't think Rabiot was the Rabiot we've been seeing, but you can't really complain about his performances because he'll be much better than most other players. But Pulisic, I don't know what's wrong. Obviously, he's been half injured and playing sparingly. He needs to switch his game face on and start finishing those chances. Because we lived, and you were saying that when we were watching it, we lived off of that the first 2 months. Now it's not looking great.
Yeah, with Rabiot, I agree. He didn't stand out. I think the saving grace for him is that he does so much work when we don't have the ball, and even when we have the ball, just the runs, but also the defensive covering. That a lot of the dirty work is never seen anyway, so maybe that's a saving grace, but I do agree. I thought Leao looked very good. Obviously, he scores a goal at the end that doesn't really mean much, and he does miss a chance that he should have put away, but he seemed more alive. Not yet 100%, not the full burning speed of Rafa Leao, but I thought he looked much better. And if we can get the last few months of Leao, even if it's not 100%, but at a good output, that'll be great. And I really like how Fulcro came on. Again, it's easy to see the difference because all of a sudden you start winning some headers and chesting down those long balls that we never even remotely see. But just the fight, I like what he brought. I see a comment from Miki saying, when Estupinian got subbed in, Cremonese felt the pressure.
Grande Pervis.
Yes, I think when he came in, I said, this is clearly the game that Pervis comes in to unlock. I guess he didn't do bad. In the end, I guess all the big players turn out. Modric technically. No, who gets assists? We took it short. Who passed it to?
He passed it back to
maybe Bart.
Yeah, he passed it back to Pervis and then passed it straight back to Modric. Modric crosses it, and I think De Winter might have had a touch on it.
Yes, of course. Yeah, De Winter gets the header, so it's his. Yeah, you're 100% correct. And then Nkunku gets the assist on the Leao goal.
The new boys.
This is true. We didn't see again Jashari. I do feel bad for him because I think unless something bad happens, it's clear now that Rabiot and Modric just don't come out.
But if we're not seeing Modric next season, I think he has the option to renew. But let's see how much he enjoys it. Maybe he goes, maybe another summer might actually start where the wear and tear on Modric might be getting worse and worse. So we'll see but then it's great that Jashari can come in and get more comfortable to the league, and then next season he's our solid starter in that number 6 position.
That's absolutely true. I mean, if you do a year of understudy with Luka Modric, and also one where you can do the first few games that are heavy pressure when you wear the Milan jersey in San Siro, but you're not the main choice is different. So next year when he kind of already knows those games, and he's the set starter, if Luka does not renew, that would be great.
Best performer? Fofana, I would say.
Oh, yes, I forgot. We were meant to talk about Fofana. He got subbed a little early, but again, Max in a game that is now won, he's never going to take Rabiot and Modric out. Yeah, Fofana, I mean, obviously, you know from me, he was always going to appreciate it. But I think
What?
from an objective fan, even, you could tell the first half was all him. He should have had 2 assists. He had a beautiful one on Leao and a good one, a great one to Pulisic, both wasted chances. He almost had a weak foot, technically outside of the box, maybe barely. I think it was right around that area. Weak foot, left-footed curler that went in. Yeah, one of his best games. Unfortunately, really, it's really unfortunate for him. It's just kind of I feel like he's such an unlucky player as well. He has nothing to show for it. But to the ones that have watched the game,
Proper tacticals.
the proper tacticals. Yeah, he honestly, even though he came out, I don't know, 60th minute, something like that. Let me see. He came out, 62nd minute. Still might be a good shot for man of the game. What's F. Stokeling saying in the chat? Pulisic now is lethal, probably best striker partnership in the league. Now imagine that a real striker in between. Yes, I think that's the discussion, right? The qualities there with those two is,
It can be. The ceiling can be so high because they've played so much, well, not so much, the last 3 seasons together in different positions, and you would automatically think that they should work together up top, just them. But if Stöckling, for once you're right, imagine putting or having or changing the formation so that you can fit both of them in plus a full Krug.
Yeah, and imagine if next year a full Krug is an actual striker at the level of Milan. No disrespect to Fulkrug, who I'm loving, honestly. Take your pick, whether it's Vlahovic, whether it's Moise Kean, whatever. Someone who Allegri likes would be incredible. Right now, I think it's just a matter of, when it's games like this, they need to win. Because otherwise, you're playing further back with 2 center backs that don't know how to, with Tomori playing full back. It's just, you end up conceding a lot. We didn't do this game, but you end up conceding like we did last year when we played for the back with pretty much the same core. I finished 8th, as I like to remind the stream always. But any last thoughts on this game that'll be coming up? Or do we wrap it up?
Inter merda.
Always. They unfortunately got another win against Genoa yesterday. Today, big game, Juve Roma. That will tell us a little bit of our future in terms of Champions League spots. Just reading up with Miki. When they're both fit, they're at 100% for sure. 10 points, boys, of course, from Stokely.
You see that? What did I say?
Yeah, you called it. That will tell us a lot. Como is there. Napoli would have been, if they drew yesterday, would have been in the fight also for Champions League spots. It would have been just 1 point ahead of Roma with the game in hand. But they stay somewhat clear of the big bagarre. But I mean, Atalanta's there, Como's there. It's going to be a fight to the death. We will see each other probably remotely again for the breakdown of this Cremonese game.
What am I not moving in?
Could be. I need rent though.
That could be sorted.
Anyway, thank you all for joining in. If you're watching this live or repeat, please drop a like, subscribe. Shout out to F. Stokeling as well for joining in. And as always, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.